Hi, Junk Journal friends, it's Laura. I'm back with a little haul for junk journaling. I got out to a couple of yard sales yesterday morning. It's finally starting to warm up here just a little bit, but I was going to do this haul in the sun porch, and it's not very sunny and it is quite cold out there. So I'm back down in my little apartment in the basement. So without further ado, here's just a few interesting things for my junk journals. Um, One lady had packets of these. I think she made them herself. It doesn't look like they're something that you would buy at the store. They're a bit rough, but nice little squares for quilting, and I really like this pattern on the top of it, so that was $1.50 for that one. And then in her fabric, she had this. I think it's probably a fat quarter, but it does look like vintage fabric to me. So what way am I holding it up? Oh, it's kind of hard to tell which way to hold it. Kind of goes every which way, but it's really lovely. It's a pretty old print. So I grabbed that. That was 50 cents. And then this definitely is older fabric, and for some reason she had $1 on this. I think there looks like there's a bit more fabric in there. So a little more fabric for my fabric stash. Not that I ever get time to sew or do anything, but one day I will. One day I will. I love these old kind of wallets or personal secretaries, and it has a place for stamps. You can actually pull this out, put your stamps in. A little address book that you can pull out, zipper there to put some money in or whatever, and then this notepad. It's missing the pen, and it is just vinyl. It isn't leather, but I don't know why. I've just always had a thing for these. I've bought those sort of things since I was a little girl, thrifting or going to rummage sales with my mom. So go figure. Maybe my dad carried it. I don't know. Now this has a price tag on it, but I didn't pay that much. I just had made a little bit of a pile at one of the yard sales, and I think she charged me $5-6 for my pile. So that's it looks like cards by a local artist with a probably Simmental bowl on. I'm not really sure. I had Hereford, so Paper House Original, made in Canada, printed in Canada. So they're just plain cards, nice paper, nice envelopes. So I'll just utilize them. I can put something right over top of that and turn it into one of my own cards. And I liked this because that could be sewn into a junk journal, and then it gives you two pockets, eh? So I realize I say a lot, and I'm not even Canadian, but I have spent the majority of my life here, so I grabbed these. They're just little Valentines. What do they say? Special hand delivered. They're from Regal, and I don't think Regal's in business anymore. I remember different people would, in the neighborhood would be selling Regal. They'd have the Regal catalogs, and you'd buy funny little things and lots of cards and whatnot, and gadgets. They had lots of strange gadgets that you would buy. You say, oh, that would really, that'll help in the kitchen, and then it would end up at the back of the junk drawer after a while. But you did it to help out your neighbors and your friends and make a little bit of extra money. So anyways, that means these have a bit of age if they were made in Canada, and they're Regal. So I thought that was a cute little graphic, and there's 30 of them in there. So when Jack goes to school, he has got lots of Valentines to give his neighbors at school. Pick this up, Atlantic Sugar, and it's labels to go on your canning. It's all different rhubarb. My rhubarb's coming up. I'm really excited. I hope it's good tasting, because it's I didn't plant it. It's here. It was here. I'm just discovering all the things that are in the garden here now. So I won't be canning anything, but I'll definitely make a rhubarb crumble or a rhubarb pie rhubarb and strawberry pie. So I thought those were really cute for a vintage kitchen journal. And I got a bunch of receipt books, very old, dated 69, 70s. A lot are written on, but then there's a bunch in the back that aren't. And it looks like the person paid 45 cents for that one. This is actually someone's checkbook. So there is the check register in the front, and then there is deposit slips in the middle. Oh, excuse me. Kiss a Handsome Prince or a frog or something. And then the checks in the back. So, I don't know, just not that anyone who watches my videos is larcenous enough to do anything about knowing the bank account number, but anyway, it's pretty old. They're pretty old. Let's see, has anything dated? 66. There's a bit of the check register left in this one, but the checks have all been used up. So, yeah, they're pretty old. This is a deposit book, Bank of Nova Scotia. Lovely old paper, really nicely aged. And this is a receipt book that they paid 29 cents for at H&B Aids, and they actually paid 27 cents for it. So they got it a little cheaper. 1973 is some of the receipts dated in there. And there is a few in the back that haven't been written on. So I love that writing. Somebody had really beautiful handwriting. So that's cool. I got just the packaging from a seal of wax. My mother-in-law used to always use wax when she was canning. You put a layer of wax at the top of the jam or whatever it was you were canning. I think it was the older gals did that because the old canning jars weren't as reliable as the new stuff that we have nowadays. So I never felt the need to do that. Now this, oh, excuse me, my nose is so itchy. I'm just dying over this stuff. This is gorgeous. Okay, I have a bunch of these. All right, there's one front. I'm absolutely in love with that one. And you know what? You would think that is Norman Rockwell. I looked at that and thought Norman Rockwell. But it says Francis Tipton Hunter. So it is very Norman Rockwell-ish. This one, I'm going to show you the inside. Just hang on. This one, I got three of those and one of these. Okay, now they are bridge tallies, and they were sponsored by Tippett Richardson Limited, and that company is still going today. I looked them up. That's their moving vans. Okay, they started business in 1927 or 28. And they're all over Canada. They served Eastern U.S., Ontario, and Quebec. But if they needed to make a move out west, they had to travel through the States because our Trans-Canada Highway wasn't built until the late 60s. So they couldn't take their big moving vans, furniture moving vans, on the sort of rough back roads, especially up over our Great Lakes. So it's pretty rough country up there. So I thought that was really fascinating, and these are just like ridiculously cool, and they must be war era because they're sort of pushing savings bonds on the back of these. So I just thought these were so cool. And then there's a bunch of small tallies here with the the same images, just parts of the same images on the fronts of them. So I've just got a bunch of those. So I'm just totally in love with those, totally. So I have to watch my time. I'm still under that 15-minute restriction. And I don't know if any of you have ever seen these. They're your little book that you kept when you had life insurance, and you would go, I imagine, to the local office every week and pay your, what do you call it? Dividend? Whatever. Oh, I can't think of the word. And this family paid 85 cents a week. And it's got the names of 3 different people in the front here, I guess, who were the ones who were insured. Now this book dates in the 40s, 1940s. This book is 1935. They're all the same family. McCarty family. This one is 1933. Okay, so there's the 3 books. I could give you a good look. And that's the back of them. Too bad somebody felt the need to scribble on them. The Canadian Bank of Commerce Building, Russell Street, Smiths Falls. I guess that's where they had their office. And then they had these envelopes that you kept your book in. So there's 2 of those. They're the same. And then it looks like they switched to Metropolitan Life because it's the same family. Okay, and that's 1943. And this book goes to 1946. So that's all through the war years. They went every week and paid it's up to $1.50 here. Okay. And then I have another book. This one is 1938 to 1941. This is where they paid their premiums. Premiums, that's the word I want. Premiums. So, and there is an envelope for the Metropolitan Life. So those are just like way cool. Because that predates my mother. My mother was born in 1937. So, I mean, that would have, my mother's family might have been paying insurance premiums like that. My mother's mother and father, so my grandparents. That's just so cool. I picked up 2 decks of cards. I just love the little farm scenes and the red barns. I'm just a sucker for any red barns. So that's the 2 little decks of cards. And this is your scorebook for when you're bowling. And it's sponsored by Dow Ale. I don't think I've ever drank a Dow Ale. I don't know if that's still made or whatever. But there's individual scores. I like to bowl, but I haven't got a clue how it's scored or if I win or not, but I just like to bowl. I always leave all the scoring things up to other people who know what they're doing. So I'm going to show you one more thing quickly. Viewmaster, 7 Wonders of the World, 4 of them, and they're all dated in the early 50s, 1951. So I'm going to cut off here because I'm still under the 15-minute restriction, and I will do the rest of it in another video. Take care, everybody. Have fun junk journaling. I've been watching some fantastic people, some gals from England, a gal from Scotland, another gal from Australia who just do fabulous stuff. One of these days I'll actually show you some of my junk journals that I'm working on. Gotta go. Bye.